Hey guys, this is your Photo 1 teacher, Miss Miller, Miss Kitty, and we are going to learn how to make a day to night time-lapse image in a single frame. And so I have borrowed two pictures from one of my photo students to use as an example. So we're going to merge this day photo and this night photo so that they seem like they're in the same frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to Window, Arrange, and then you want to float all in windows so you can see both pictures simultaneously. And then we're just going to move one of the pictures over into the other picture. So I'm going to move my day over into my night picture. So go to your toolbox, go to the little move tool up here, and then all you do is just kind of click and hold it down and then drag it, and then release onto your picture. So over here I have two layers now, and then I can go ahead and just get rid of this day image. I don't need it anymore. I have two layers. You might want to rename them. So I'm just going to double click on the text and name this one day, and then this one night. Sorry. And you also want to unlock this layer so that both layers are movable. So just click this where it looks like a little padlock. Just click that icon and it unlocks it. Now I can rename it. All right. So one of the things that you might want to do first is kind of line up the images. So the easiest way to do that is to go up to your day image and then change the opacity up here, and you just kind of click on the arrow and lower the opacity so you can kind of see through the image now. And then take your move tool and sort of move the picture. So it'd be a lot easier if you took the picture from the same exact point, but this will work, I think, if we just kind of align them. If it's really off, it's not going to work, so just be wary of that. So I might use, I'll kind of do that. We'll try that. Okay, and then what I want to do too is crop the image so that, you know, they're even. So I'm going to give my crop tool and just kind of push it here and hit enter. So now it's cropped, and then I'm going to bring back the opacity up like that. So the next step is to add a layer mask. So if you go to your layer palette and you look down, you will see a rectangle with a circle. You want to click on that, and it says add layer mask. Remember, whenever you hover your mouse over any of the icons, it should tell you what they do or give you a description. So we're going to click on that, and what you'll see in the day layer is this mask or a layer mask. And then what we're going to do is we're going to divide the picture in half using a marquee tool or a selection tool. So we're going to go over here to the shapes, this rectangle marquee in your toolbox, click on it, and then you can just sort of eyeball, you know, sort of halfway between your picture. And then you're just kind of going to draw your little marquee. And then we're going to fill this with black. So we're going to go up to edit, and then you're going to scroll down to fill. And then if it doesn't say contents, make sure it says black. okay, and then normal 100% opacity. And so with layer mask, the idea is that black reveals, white conceals, I think. Yeah, black reveals, white conceals. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And then just hit OK. So now you see, yeah, that's right. Black reveals, white conceals. So now we see part of the night image. All right. So what we're going to try to do next is we're going to kind of make the images seem like there's more of a transition between the two. So go up to select, deselect to get rid of the marquee. And then again, I might need to crop a little bit more because I can see up here it looks a little strange. So I'm going to go back to my crop. Only crop if you need to. So the crop tool is right here. It looks like two right angles intersecting. I'm just going to bring this down just a tad. Hit enter. Right there. That looks better. So the next step is to kind of merge the two or make this transition a little bit softer. So I'm going to click just on the day layer mask. Okay, so when I click on just that portion, you'll see that it's highlighted. And then I'm going to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And you can kind of move this out of the way so you can see how it changes your image. And then I'm just going to kind of move these pixels, and you can kind of see how it's softening a little bit. So it just kind of depends. That looks a little bit better. The size of your image. So just play around with the radius until you feel like it looks okay. And I think that looks pretty soft. And then just like I ended up doing 424 pixels, which is a lot. Then hit OK to confirm that change. So that's really the effect you're going for. And again, it really depends on the scene that you took and the shot. One of the things that I'm not crazy about is the umbrella and I love the pool image, but I'm not really crazy about these two sort of competing against each other, this basketball goal. So I thought I'd show you a cool tool you can play around with. It's called the cloning stamp. So if you go up here to your toolbox, you should see an icon that looks kind of like a stamp. So you click on it, and you want to select clone stamp. And so one of the things I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get rid of this chair and this umbrella. So what you do is you'll see up here in the tool option menu bar here, your clone stamp icon, and then it's like the paintbrush. You can change, if you click on this arrow, you can change the size of the brush and then obviously what type of brush you're using. I still have some of these fancy brushes set from the last time we were playing, so I'm going to go back and change those. So to select a new brush set, I'm going to just pick a basic or simpler one. You go to this little gear, and I'm just going to hit Reset Brushes and just use the default brushes. So I'm going to hit OK. So now I just have the kind of basic brushes. And I'm just going to kind of choose a soft round brush. And then I am going to change my hardness a little bit. So this will make the edges kind of softer as opposed to a really hard sort of defined edge. And then just to kind of check the size, I just kind of move it out into the picture. So I'm going to start with that. And then what you do is you hold down the Alt key, and you'll see it change. It looks like a little crosshair. And then you click your mouse, and it kind of samples whatever it is, or clones whatever it is that you just sampled. And so you have to kind of keep sampling. Like I'm going to hold down the Alt key again. So it's almost like kind of painting. And you have to be patient to do this. Actually, I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger. See if I can speed this up. We'll do this again. We'll actually maybe do a tutorial where we try to get rid of wrinkles and zits and things like that on people's faces. We won't use our faces, but we'll look at just some stock photos. It's kind of fun to play with. So I'm going to finish doing this. I'm going to pause it, and then I'll show you the finished results. So I got rid of the chair. It doesn't look that great, but for our purposes, it's going to be fine. And then I just wanted to show you. So you know, I'm going to have to clone another part. So I'm going to have to go over here, and some parts are a little bit trickier than others. So I'm going to try to clone this out so that it matches. And then I'm going to try to get rid of this umbrella, which might prove to be a little bit trickier. But basically, again, it's just kind of altering or just sampling sections that are similar to what, you know, so here, you know, this bush, I'm going to try to just kind of have going across, and then, you know, these trees and the light over at this top portion. So like if I, like over here, I'd probably want to start doing more of that. So, you know, your picture might not need to have anything removed, but if you want to, you know, I just wanted to show you as a bonus. So I'm going to try to get rid of this umbrella and show you the final result. And then I'm going to show you some other things that you might want to do to kind of brighten up the image and make it a little bit more eye-catching. I got rid of the part of the umbrella using this bush. Again, it looks a little weird over here, but I mean, it's fine. I could probably put a little blur on here to blend it more. But I just wanted to show you again how you have to be very careful about how you clone. So now I'm going to try to continue this tree down so it blends in a little better so I keep, you know, I sample here and then I kind of move down the same direction. So you don't just randomly just start, you know, clicking everywhere. And then I'm going to try to use, you know, some of this to blend. So anyway, I will finish this up and show you the final result. All right, so another thing we might do is maybe kind of play around with the exposure of the day and the night image. So I'm going to just click on the day portion of the image, not the mask icon. And I'm going to go up here to image adjustments, and we're going to play around with exposure. And I'm just going to kind of increase it or bump it up a little bit so that the light is a little bit brighter. And then I'm going to offset it so it glows, like it has more of a glow to it and a little bit more saturated. That looks good. I'm going to do the same thing over here with the night portion. So I'm going to go down to the night layer. And then I'm going to go up to, again, image adjustments, exposure, and just kind of bump it up a little, maybe a little bit. Maybe I just need to off. Maybe I should leave it. I'm just gonna offset it a little bit. And it would be really cool if there was a light or something here. But it still looks pretty cool, I think. So I'm going to hit OK. And so there's our day to night image. Something else I might want to play around with is, I could use the clone stamp to maybe get rid of some of this stuff so the water looks a little bit more pristine. But anyway, there it is. So give it a go with the 2 images you took. See what you come up with. You can always ask me questions. You can always replay this video, stop it, and start it. But that's it. Thank you for listening.